Introducing the all-new Corolla.
The United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, or UNFCCC, began in Warsaw, Poland last week on November 11th, and it'll last until the 22nd, or the end of this week. Taiwan, or the Republic of China, will be participating, but only as an observer and only as a non-government organization. This is something they hope to change one day. Although they are, for all intents and purposes, a self-governing democratic society, they are still tied to communist mainland China, or the People's Republic of China. China is not very open to Taiwan participating as an official government entity in international organizations, likely because it will give the impression that Taiwan is separate and independent of the mainland, and this is contrary to their One China policy. Department of Treaty and Legal Affairs Director General Perry Pei-Huang Shen explained this to PNC News during a recent international media tour of Taiwan.
China is still very rich in its one China policy and block our bid to participate in all international organizations. We are still willing to try to convince the benefits of the Taiwan's participation.
But Taiwan is not exactly at the point in its cross-strait talks where they're able to convince China of the benefits of their participation in the UNFCCC. And if mainland China is not convinced, the rest of the world will likely acquiesce. Professor Qian-Te Fan, director of the National Tsinghua University Institute of Law for Science and Technology, explains.
Yet reaching that stage of the talk yet. So I would say not until that we reach the political talk or dialogue of the cross-strait. Otherwise, I don't think that the FCCC can really give us a status or a position to participate.
Taiwan has sent a delegation which includes some government representatives, but none of them in an official capacity, and all of them under the umbrella of the non-government organization known as the Industrial Technology Research Institute. Dr. Xin Cheng-Ye is the Deputy Minister of Taiwan's Environmental Protection Administration.
I myself will lead a delegation to Warsaw later this year. Again, as an NGO, we greatly appreciate the support of the member states of the United Nations who started inviting Taiwan government to attend the World Health Assembly, WHO, in 2009. I hope that the international community will also support the Taiwan EPA's participation in the UNFCCC, thereby giving Taiwan more opportunities to make direct contributions to the global environment protection efforts, also to climate change. Taiwan is also willing to share our experience and the technology with other nations, with Taiwan's emissions accounting for 1% of the global emissions.
Despite not being bound by any UN or international agreements to do so, Taiwan has independently and voluntarily pledged to the UNFCCC Secretariat and the international community that it would set concrete emission reduction goals. The ROC government has promoted electric motorcycle battery exchange systems to encourage the use of electric scooters. It plans on replacing all city buses with electric buses within the next 10 years. It's encouraging the use of bicycles and has set up geographic information systems for bicycle road networks. And Taiwan even has a U-bike rental program that allows people to rent bicycles at various areas set up throughout the city of Taipei. So far, Taiwan has been able to reverse its trends of increasing power consumption and carbon emissions. From 2004 to 2007, power consumption increased by an average of 3.3%. Carbon emissions increased during that same period by 2.7% annually. In contrast, from 2008 to 2012, energy consumption fell by 0.1% annually, and carbon emissions fell by 0.6% annually. Meanwhile, in 2012, Taiwan's economy grew by 1.32%, while its emissions fell by 1.9%.